from the ice cold studio. It's the Donut Shop Boys podcast with your boy, the Vanilla Gorilla, and my main man,
Medium T.
Medium T. So, first things first, this podcast episode is brought to you by our sponsor, M3is3D.com. They've got wall mounts, heads, busts, if you will, that act as nice.
Beautiful busts.
Beautiful busts. That act as nice headphone stands for music headphones, gaming headsets.
All you audiophiles out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Those are the only kind of files, though.
Yeah. Pedophiles need not apply. But tell them about the discount code.
Donut Shop Boys, 10% off on the website, m3is3d.com. Support the boys. Support M3is3D. Support yourself.
Yeah.
Get you a bust.
Absolutely. Thank you for sponsoring the show. We truly appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
Real American hero.
Shoeless Special, number 347. Still on the hook.
Not a real American hero.
No. Definitely not. So let's catch up on sports.
Yeah.
Because currently,
this is depressing.
This past week, and we are now in the midst of, this past week began the most important athletic event in the world.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean NFL training camp has started.
How's that going?
It's going, predictably for some.
Yeah. A little unpredictably for others.
Unpredictably for
some
others.
Some would say.
Yeah. The Titans last year signed Jadeveon Clowney, the pass rusher. You know the little thing about your team signing a pass rusher. Would you like to lead with that?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I've heard the name J.J. Watts and the Cardinals, and it's getting the people going, I think, to a little bit.
And you know nothing about it.
No, nothing.
But you're happy.
I think I've heard the name before. Yeah, I follow the general climate of the fans. I've still got a lot of family in Arizona.
Right.
So when they're happy, I'm happy.
You'll watch come playoff time if they make it.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just like the Suns.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Rip. We're going to address the fact that we congratulated you on an NBA Finals
and then
championship.
They must have heard and just gave up the last 4 games.
Well, Milwaukee needed it.
What
else do they got?
Yeah, I was like...
Riots.
They're going to have a lot of COVID cases. You see Deer District?
That's if you believe that.
I didn't see a 6-foot rule.
They're vaccinated. It's fine.
You think so?
I
know somebody from the Milwaukee area. She was saying that it's all, it's very Republican in Wisconsin, but there's just one little pocket of hell in Milwaukee.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it. I was shocked. Actually, knowing the people that I know from Wisconsin, I was shocked to see like their voting history.
Yeah.
Or like how they go in elections. I was like, wow, that doesn't seem like the people that I know from that
Should
part
just
of the
be
world.
Milwaukee's electoral votes.
But yeah, NFL training camp's going on. Last year, the Titans signed Jadeveon Clowney. He's a pass rusher and got nothing out of him. He was injured. This year we went out, we got rid of him. Didn't re-sign him. This year we went out and got Bud Dupree to fill the same role.
Also injured?
Physically unable to perform list. So we're just like right down the same path that we started on last year.
They don't seem like they want to rush any passes.
No. Just give the other team all the time in the world.
Just want to run the nickel instead.
Yeah. Maybe a little dime.
Yeah.
But we got Julio Jones. So
I've heard that name before.
Yeah. So the Tennessee offense should be unstoppable.
He's your quarterback retired or something, didn't he?
No. Tannehill, he's still there.
Oh.
We paid him last year.
Oh, yeah. Julio Jones, isn't that? This is a wide receiver.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. This just solidifies the amount of knowledge I have for the NFL.
Yeah, you're driving it home.
Yeah.
Old Aaron Rodgers, he finally got re-signed. Then he just got up in a press conference and just threw all the shade back at.
Was he on one knee?
He should have.
Should have T-bowed it.
But yeah, that's what's going on with the NFL. Just really excited to be moving into football season. I don't get excited for preseason football games because that's not real.
Yeah.
Preseason football game might as well be a fucking fantasy football game. Or a junior high scrimmage.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
As somebody that watches a lot more sports than I do, pays attention to a lot of the off-season stuff. I'm more of a playoff sports guy myself.
Thanks to the ESPN app that gives me notifications.
So, as you may know, my team, the Coyotes, have been in a 9-year rebuild.
Yeah. Sounds a lot like the University of Tennessee
10.
Football program.
But watching some of their trades that they've been doing, I've been seeing notifications. They're basically dumping the whole fucking team.
Huh.
But finally, I guess, from what I'm reading, they're finally doing the real rebuild. But in that case, how many times have you seen teams trade and get nothing in return?
Every trade that the Pittsburgh Pirates have ever done since I've been a fan.
Yeah. Are they giving people away, not getting anything in return?
I actually have this written down, if you can see on my outline. Yeah.
The Coyotes were the opposite, though, which I thought was intense. They were picking up players and draft picks for
almost nothing. Draft picks are important.
Yes.
Draft picks, like, I learned this from watching a documentary like kind of about Bill Belichick and how he operates with the New England Patriots. Accumulating a number of draft picks is more important than having early draft picks, like high draft picks. Because every rookie is an unknown. You can scout them and you can have an idea of who's great and who's not, but ultimately you don't know how they're going to pan out when they transfer over to the NFL game. So every single rookie is a roll of the dice. So would you rather have the first chance to roll the dice or more rolls of the dice?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
So accumulate a lot of draft picks. That's a lot of chances that it's going to pay off.
An absolute shit ton for this draft, the next 2 drafts, they've just been loading and loading. It was like, they got rid of OEL, the captain of the Coyotes now, after Shane Doan left. They traded him and Connor Garland, which are the 2 best defensemen. Got a bunch of draft picks and a couple guys back. The biggest news for the Coyotes, though, I'll end on, is they drafted in the second round Josh Doan, which is Shane Doan's son, who is like a fucking Arizona legend and Coyotes legend. They drafted his son in the second round. I think it was like 7th in the second. So that's pretty exciting. He's going to be going to ASU for a little while. I think he's too young to play in the NHL or something. But they got him. So we'll have another Doan on the team, which is exciting. And the fans are absolutely fucking loving it. I mean, you can just say Doan, and the whole Arizona fan base will just lose their fucking mind.
That's actually, we got a lot of subscribers just because they hear the introduction of our shows, the Doan Nutshot Boys,
and they just love it.
Yeah, they just jumped right to the subscribe button without even listening to the rest of the show, and we appreciate that.
But yeah, so that's. I mean, I'm excited for the Coyotes, though. I don't think they're going to win a lot this year, but it makes the fact that they're actually doing stuff is exciting.
They're trying to win. See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Pirates, they make no sense. And I don't want to steal other people's jokes, but it's been said that they're the Dave Ramsey of baseball. They think the point of baseball is to save money.
Yeah.
And so every time the Pirates get a good player, they immediately trade them.
Yeah.
Like I think around Christmas time, I think it was you that sent me the picture of the kid with he had opened the Josh Bell jersey for Christmas morning, and the Pirates had traded Josh Bell the night before. Like they traded him on Christmas Eve. And he was it. He was the whole team. We had a good little playoff run there from like, I want to say 12 to 14 or 15, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And just blew up that roster, just sent everybody out of there. For what? They're obsessed with trading like known commodities for prospects.
Yeah. So
and they're not
only
even
prospects so much.
Right. And most it's kind of like draft picks. Most prospects don't work out.
Yeah.
You can't continually just keep building for the future and giving away known pieces for prospects. And the way I look at it is it's the Pittsburgh Pirates operate as if they're paying $1 for Dogecoin when it's, it was only trading at 5 cents, and you don't know if it's ever going to make $1.
Yeah.
But they're like, fuck it. A thousand of them, please.
I could say that's what it seemed like the Coyotes were doing for the last 9 years. But they were holding on to like OEL they held on to because he was a household name. He was the team captain. Mm-hmm. Realistically, probably should have dumped him a while ago. Saved him some fucking time in the NHL where he could actually, he's not a bad player, but dump the whole roster and then start building here and then if we end up with a good prospect, keep them and work on the next prospect, Yeah. And then at that point you have a winning team, but you can't have all these old guys that are okay and then a shitload of young guys that are just not good at all.
Right.
Or not prime.
You got to go out of your way to keep pieces.
Yeah.
That way you can entice someone to come in free agency.
Yeah, that too.
If they look at your roster and they say, hey, there's some pieces there, I can work with that, then you've got a shot at something. Mm-hmm. And I would, it's fucking tragic. Yeah. The Pirates were like one additional like quality starting pitcher away from making a real run. Few years back. Yeah. It's probably like 6-7 years now.
I got scared and just dumped them all.
They did. They really did. But it is what it is. But yeah, so since the last time we spoke, we foreshadowed the Poirier McGregor fight.
Yeah, we're not great sportscasters or sports predictors.
We didn't. I actually predicted that Poirier would win, I believe.
Maybe. I don't listen to the podcast.
Hoped, if you remember, we hoped that McGregor would win. And we said that if he didn't, he's done.
Yeah.
And I think it's safe to say you're done. Like, your real-world Ric Flair character is done.
Yeah, no more trying to throw chairs through tour buses.
That's still the most gangster shit, though. He hopped the plane for that. But then, you didn't think it could get any worse than the Conor fucking sleeping meme where he got knocked out.
Yeah.
And then it turned into Joe Rogan sitting on his ass interviewing Conor.
Oh.
Like, come on. Hey, just focus on your whiskey. Maybe do some exhibition boxing matches. Fight Logan Paul or Jake Paul or...
Yeah, you make a lot of money doing that.
Fight RuPaul.
Fight Rand Paul.
Fight Rand Paul. All the Pauls. Pope John Paul,
Not Ron Paul, though. I want you to actually win the fight.
Yeah, we saw him have a stroke live on air, and tragic.
Yeah.
But yeah, focus on your life outside of the octagon, because I think you're done, man. Hang it up. So... Now let's get to what I pretended that we were going to talk about in the beginning, opening segment.
Yeah.
Give me your understanding of what was going on with Simone Biles leading into the Olympics.
She's a national treasure.
Okay.
Now, so my understanding is that she is so good at her job, I guess, or her sport, that the judging committee was cutting points or like starting her off lower. I don't know how the point system works.
Basically like handicapping her.
Yeah, handicapping her. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Because her moves and her stuff was too dangerous for other people. So they didn't want other people to try to do it. So they were just handicapping the points. But she can do them, and she was doing them. And I feel at that point, like if you've progressed to that far, you know what I mean? Like to me, they'd be like, oh, not a lot of people can make a shot from the half court. So if you make it, it just doesn't count.
Right.
If I can make it, it should fucking count. Yeah. I can do it. So that's irritating. I think it's kind of shitty for her to bail on the team.
Okay.
I had the conversation with somebody about it. It was they had compared it to Tom Brady going into the Super Bowl and going, I just feel stressed. I don't think I'm going to play today, guys.
Yeah.
You have a job to do.
I've got mixed feelings on that. And then I got some like kind of some greater understanding on it today.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, after watching Rogan video, but I do have a problem with. I don't have a problem with people calling her the GOAT. I mean, that's objectively fair. Cinema Bro show. Objectively a fair shake to call her the greatest of all time.
Mm-hmm.
However, when she came out in a bedazzled unitard that had a goat on it, calling herself the GOAT, you can't call yourself the GOAT and then quit.
Yeah.
However,
I didn't know about that portion.
Yeah.
That is kind of shitty.
When they're already docking your fucking points.
Yeah.
Because you're good. Imagine going out there and balling the fuck out. And then some other fucking mook wins gold because they've docked your points. Like, you did shit that they couldn't even do.
Yeah.
And they still win gold because they've hampered your scoring. And then you add to the fact that she was getting like disoriented in the air or something.
Yeah.
I believe that. I don't think it's bullshit. And that's before I watched the Rogan video. I was telling another friend of mine, I've got to work and been sitting in the parking lot in my car and like come to the realization, like, I don't remember driving here today.
Yeah.
So I very well, like, I believe that you could be in the air doing some amazing flippy gymnastic maneuver and forget what the fuck is going on while you're in the air.
Yeah. Or you just lose where you're at and stuff. I mean,
and that's pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
And then I go to find out that her ADHD medication is like banned for like athletic use in Japan. Therefore, she wasn't able to be on it, which is no big deal. Typically, but she's like going through withdrawal from it. Like, she's coming down off of a medication. So maybe it is one of those things, if she had known like a year ago that she wasn't going to, because she got an exemption to use it in the previous Olympics. Mm-hmm. So if she had known that she wasn't going to be able to use it, she could have like stopped, like discontinued use of her medication ahead of time, or, something like that. But she's like fucked up, and it's a medication that messes with your head.
Yeah, so it's supposed to help you focus.
It's supposed to help you focus, and
she's not focusing.
And now you've taken away something that helps her focus. But I get it if the other competitors aren't able to do it, aren't able to take that medication. Because she's very physically gifted, but your physicality is not all there is to sports.
Yeah,
there are plenty of people that are very physically capable that don't go on to be like tremendous or great competitors. They're great athletes just by sheer athletic ability, but they don't become like superstars because they don't have it between the ears. People come to mind like Vince Young. He was a winner, but he never reached his full potential because of what was going on between his ears. Ryan Leaf had an amazing arm, never lived up to his full potential. You could name basketball players for days. Sean Kemp, he couldn't control his eating. So he came into the NBA like this amazing athletic, could jump through the ceiling. They called him the Rain Man. He's just raining down dunks on people's fucking heads, dude. It was insane. Yeah. They had a partial lockout, missed part of the season. He came back fat as fuck.
Wow.
Like, just get that little bit of like outside of supervision. Couldn't handle
Lost it. Yeah.
Couldn't handle it. But I'll tell you what I've been watching. I haven't watched the Olympics, like sat down and watched on TV just because I'm busy.
Yeah.
But what I have watched like via YouTube, like just watching clips, I am in love with fucking rugby.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that should be a more popular sport in this country.
Yeah. It is pretty brutal.
Yeah. And it's not as brutal as football, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for the same reasons that people say it's brutal is to me the reasons why it's less brutal, if that makes any sense at all. People say the rugby players are tougher because they don't wear all the pads that football players wear. But the style of play in rugby is different because they're not wearing pads. They're not as reckless. Like some of the wild shit that you see that lead to head injuries in the NFL and like CTE and all the concussion, that shit doesn't happen in rugby because people aren't flying in their head first because they're not wearing a fucking helmet.
Yeah.
But
a lot of it's like I picture a lot of it as like the offensive and defensive line, just like grabbing each other and pushing and tugging. It's like a big tug of war, basically. Or it gets into those.
Probably like full. I've watched some rugby. Like when I was deployed, it was like one of the only things that was on TV, like sports wise. So like a full. I don't even know what it is. I don't know if it's 11 on 11 or what it is for like full on rugby. But I know in the Olympics they're playing rugby 7, so it's 7 on 7. So it's much more like wide open, fast paced style rugby. And actually, American football came from rugby. So it's like...
Yeah, it's a similar ball and everything.
Yeah. And it literally, American football was born from rugby. And the original American footballs looked like the rugby ball. They were much bigger. They started to get smaller and more like cone-shaped as the forward pass became like more in use. So it was a much easier ball to throw forward, whereas, in rugby, they pitch it like with 2 hands backwards. So it's like watching it's like hopping in a time machine and watching a football game from the 1800s, like the early days of American football. It's pretty cool, but I'd like to see a real rugby team, not those fucking the local guys that used to hang out in the same bar with us.
Oh yeah, what is it, Yellow Jackets or something?
Yeah, whatever they are.
Yeah,
in their kilts.
Amateurs.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
They didn't even have M3 as 3D as a sponsor.
Yeah, at least we're semi-pro.
Man. But the two, between us and Mike and the fucking rugby kids, we couldn't keep that bar open.
Yeah.
And that's a damn shame.
Oh.
So,
rip.
Every now and then you guys have to get slow episodes like this so that you appreciate the good ones. And I know we're pretty sporadic with recording too. We're like the McRib, we go away, we show up, people are excited when they see we're back, and then they try us, and they don't remember why they liked us to begin with. Yeah. But hopefully you guys enjoyed hearing a little bit of sports talk. Again, terribly sorry that we congratulated you on a Phoenix Suns NBA title, man. It's got to be rough.
Yeah. Go Bucks. I'm on the winning team.
Are you Kevin Durant? All right, that pretty much does it for me. You got anything to add?
Don't forget to check out our merch on our website.
Yes, absolutely.
DonutShopBoys.com. Click on the merch tab in the top left corner. Or click the 3 lines if you're on your cellular device.
There you go.
Then click merch. That'll take you to our merch at Teespring. Buy a bunch of stuff.
Whole bunch of stuff. You know what it is.
You can buy a whole outfit.
You really can. Top to bottom.
Yeah.
We need to get hats in that
Maybe
mug.
not pants, though. I don't think we have any pants.
That's what you buy the old fucking beach towel for.
The socks? Oh.
Well, yeah. Just wear 3 socks,
Yeah, it's either 2 socks for your feet or you got to change your clothes later.
There you go. Yeah, so for your boy, the Vanilla Gorilla.
Medium T.
Thanks, we out.